Many Magic the Gathering players are asking, is it worth it to buy a Clash Pack? Clash Packs are a new item from Wizards of the Coast. Since there is no history of Clash Packs to examine and compare to, we must judge this, the first of a new line, solely on its own merit. Clash Packs are not completely replacing event decks, but they are alternating with them. This means that there is no event deck being released for M15. However, there will be one for the next set, but no Clash Pack. And thus, Clash Packs and event decks will alternate with one another indefinitely. In my video on Duel Decks, I commented that the attempt to please too many different types of players can often lead to an oversaturation effect. Along those lines, the Clash Pack seems to simultaneously want to appeal to new players, experienced players, those who are competitive in Standard, as well as those who might simply be enthusiastic collectors. So by making a product designed for everybody, has Wizards made a product for nobody? Or is this a secret success? Will Clash Packs become so popular that they may replace event decks entirely? Or is this a misstep that will soon fade away? Let's take a look. A Clash Pack comes with two 60-card decks intended to be played against each other, but also with the premise that these can be combined into one event-ready deck. In this way, it is like a hybrid of dual decks and event decks. A Clash Pack contains the following. So now you have two 60-card decks, 148 cards of which are bulk commons and uncommons. Using TCG player average values and looking only at the 12 rares, you receive a value of $30.51 at release. Keep in mind these prices are literally as of release, so as always expect these prices to drop as more and more of these get sold. Keep in mind, nearly half of that value is coming from Corsair of Kruphix, a card played in Standard, Modern, and Commander, and therefore high in demand and high in value. Corsair will no doubt drop in value as a result of this reprinting. However, its place in formats like Modern and Commander gives it a high likelihood of slowly climbing back up in price. Nonetheless, it is safe to say that without Corsair, this deck has little value. The biggest remaining value would be Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and Temple of Mystery, and for collectors interested in the alternate art foils, specifically the Prophet of Kruphix. So financially speaking, even at release, this is borderline. I expect Corsair to hit $10 as a result of this printing. It may indeed go back up in value over time, but if you need Corsairs for your deck, I'd suggest taking your $30 and being ready to snatch up at least 3 of them during the price drop. But what about function? Can you buy this, convert it into an event-ready deck, and be reasonably competitive? The Clash Pack suggests the following build for combining the two decks. Looking at this build, it is questionable how successful a person could be at their local Friday Night Magic. When I compare this to the recent event deck Underworld Herald, which had a very solid foundation for mono-black aggro, a powerful build in Standard, I can't help but feel underwhelmed in comparison. But we are in a transitional period in Standard right now. The core set is freshly released, but there's still several months until the next block. When Ravnica rotates out and Khans rotates in, Standard will likely transform into something different. This Clash Pack's event deck might be a foundation for something strong in the new Standard, but it seems unlikely. What's much more likely is that a few of these rares will be helpful for players building their Standard decks, most likely a mono-green Devotion or blue-green build. But if Courser drops in price, which it almost certainly will, buying your rares individually would be the way to go. What about for new and returning players? Does this function as a training tool, allowing them to play against their friends and eventually attempt an upgrade to a more competitive play? Given that these decks are currently 100% Standard legal, I can see favoring them as practice for newer returning players over that of a duel deck, which has an odd hodgepodge of cards from throughout Magic's history. And considering that intro packs cost between $10 and $15 for most people, I would absolutely favor this Clash Pack over buying 2 intro packs to duel against each other. But the period of a new or returning player familiarizing themselves with the game is a brief one, and $30 just to buy the cardboard equivalent of training wheels is quite an investment. Compared to grabbing 2 of these starter decks for free at your local game store and using them for training, or even just having an experienced Magic playing friend throw 2 standard pauper decks together for the equivalent of a couple of dollars, I don't see what advantage this Clash Pack gives to newer returning players, other than 1 copy of Courser of Kruphix. Final conclusion: the only thing impressive about the new MTG Clash Pack is its inclusion of the highly in-demand Courser of Kruphix, a card almost certain to drop in price at least momentarily. If you are going to purchase a Clash Pack, make sure you do not pay above MSRP for this. If you can find this for less than $30, then its value increases somewhat, but still not exponentially. In terms of competitiveness, the Clash Pack seems unlikely to be strong at Friday Night Magic or Game Day. Further upgrading of it is also dubious. Your best options are a mono-green or blue-green build. This may change post-rotation, but I do not have much confidence in this deck. As a training tool, this Clash Pack is expensive and limited. While I would point a newer returning player towards this Clash Pack instead of 2 intro packs, I would not offer it as a training tool based solely on its own merits. I hope this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out by remembering to subscribe, share, like, or just leave a comment. And remember, whether buying sealed product or singles, try and spend that money at your local game store whenever possible. You can't play Magic at Target and Walmart.